Hi. Today I want to talk about sugar and OCD. And this is one of my favorites because I feel like nutrition has made the biggest influence on me and my OCD. Like, besides therapy, changing my diet is what pretty much alleviated it. So, sugar in particular is a big one. And basically, sugar is, it's kind of funny. People tend to really crave sugar or salt. They both hit the tongue in different spots. So, like, if you taste something sweet, you're going to feel it at the tip of your tongue, and salt will hit more of the sides, bitter hits the back. Um, and I bring that up because, like, I think it's good just to sort of like pay attention to what you're feeling because we do so many things for our OCD. We try to like therapy and different drugs and whatever, and sometimes it gets hard to tell like what's getting better and what's not, and you know this new symptom's happening and this one's going away, and it's just like there's a lot going on. But practicing self-awareness can make a I think it helps things move a lot quicker. Um, so anyway, yeah, I wanted to bring up sugar because I think this was the big one. So I went off sugar a few months ago and took about a month, but then I feel like, my compulsions just kind of stopped and my obsessions really cleared up. And I didn't have that just panicky, anxious, alert feeling I always had. Like, I just never felt tired. I always felt like I was completely awake. Um, and that feeling was like excess adrenaline, excess cortisol. And we know like adrenaline is the fight or flight hormone, but it's also the hormone that converts glycogen into glucose. Glycogen is your glucose storage, and glucose is the main fuel your brain uses for any biomechanical function. And so when your brain feels like it's starving for glucose, it's going to release excess adrenaline. Um, and so an example of this would be like type 2 diabetes. It's kind of classic. And I've been tested for this a million times. Every doctor I've had always thinks I have that because my symptoms kind of point to it, but my results on my test always seem pretty okay. My symptoms were things like craving sweets at night and crazy nightmares and waking up from like my body jerking and being really hot while I slept. Excessive hunger, occasionally like excessive thirst, um, chronic infections. I was getting like UTIs all the time and like staph, ear infections, sinus infections, like just all the time. And I was getting sick of people being like, "Why are you sick all the time?" Like as if I had any idea. Um, so if my doctors had tested me for something more like a pre-diabetic insulin resistance, things may not have been so baffling. But yeah, I went on the hypoglycemia diet pretty much, which is like no sugar and no refined carbs, lots of vegetables, lots of protein, and yeah, that's kind of what made the difference. So yeah, I don't know. I got so much out of it, and I'd like to think that would help everybody. I really don't know if it would, but it might be worth a shot to look into it or talk to your doctor about it or try it, just because, like, I mean, like I said, if you can give up a food and just have your OCD go away, it's worth it. And I feel like as much as I miss sugar, it's just, when I do cheat, it's like I always regret it. It just sucks. So I feel like the first thing that comes back is like the paranoia. And then I just get uneasiness and anxiety and it's like obsessive, and then compulsions kind of come back in last. And that takes a few days, but yeah, it's just no bueno. Um, so yeah, again, if you are going to try this, just, do a little research. And you're not going to get like sugar deficient. I know like there's a sugar on the top of the food pyramid, but really that implies it's stupid. It sort of insinuates that you have a portion of your day like allotted to sugar, and you're not gonna you're not gonna get deficient in sugar. You'll get plenty of glucose from vegetables and complex carbs. So if you're having that, then that should be fine. But like you don't need to have like any you know all the processed foods and like baked goods, all that kind of stuff. So like maybe try avoiding or like really reducing your intake of refined sugar and just see how that goes. So, I mean, for me personally, I really felt like I had to cut all sugar out. Like, I don't have a lot of sugary fruits like bananas. So, yeah, that's kind of what I did. But anyway, hope this helps.